Manufacturers are becoming increasingly concerned with the environmental impact of their assembly operations and the products they churn out. They are using more recycled materials and designing products to be reused and recycled. Manufacturers are evaluating the environmental effects of their products across their entire life cycles, from raw material production to use and obsolescence. I'm joined today by Dr. Julia Goldstein, materials scientist, journalist, and author of the book Material Value: More Sustainable, Less Wasteful Manufacturing of Everything from Cell Phones to Cleaning Products. Julia, welcome to Assembly Audible.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Materials and processing methods are usually chosen with performance as the key metric. Where does environmental impact enter into the materials selection calculus?
Well, historically, it often has not been a priority because you're absolutely right. Performance. They need the materials to be strong, light, whatever it is, these particular properties. I mean, it's fascinating to be able to do that. I believe that the environmental aspect needs to come in really early in the process. It needs to be part of design. Design engineers need to work with suppliers and need to get the whole picture. Not just, you can't sacrifice performance. If you provide a product that is made from 100% recycled content and, no toxic chemicals, great. If it doesn't work, it's irrelevant. Nobody's going to buy it. Or if you make it and it seems good, but it breaks really soon, well, shoot, then you're creating more waste. So it really needs to be a holistic look at the performance, the durability, and all those environmental aspects together.
That's great. Okay, so where does cost fit in? If a more sustainable material or process is more expensive than a conventional one, how can engineers justify the investment?
If you look at the whole picture, it really might not be as expensive as you think. And there's ways to phase things in. There's also, well, what if you can make it more long-lasting? If it's a longer lasting, more durable, robust product like manufacturers used to make 50, 60 years ago. People probably might have stuff from their grandparents that has lasted for decades and decades. And then they have something they bought 5 years ago and it's already falling apart. If you can do the more sustainable products, more sustainable materials, and increase the durability, then it becomes more valuable. The other thing is, where can you pass those costs on, right? How much is the manufacturer going to absorb? Also, can you work with suppliers to allow them to increase the volume of their manufacturing? Because if there's new materials and they're being made on a small scale, the cost is going to be high initially. If the volumes scale up, the cost comes down. That's pretty much a universal concept. So if the manufacturers can drive that increased demand and drive the volumes up, they can drive the costs down. And again, sometimes they can pass some costs on to consumers, especially early adopters who want to have that more sustainable product and are willing to pay more, with ultimately the goal being to bring those costs back down so that everybody can afford those products.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up today? Any points you think we missed or?
There's so much more. As I said, the book covers obviously way more than we could discuss here. I just advise anyone who wants to follow up with me, you can find me at my website, jlfgoldstein.com. And at jlfgoldstein.com/discussion, I've got a download for a list of questions about sustainable manufacturing. And it's a fillable PDF, and you can download it and type in stuff, and just to give you ideas about some things to think about.
For more insights on assembling discrete parts into finished products and the people behind it all, visit our website, assemblymag.com. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast to keep up with our latest episodes. We're also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, so we invite you to follow us there too. This has been Assembly Audible. Thanks for listening.